Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Montana High School football. Steve Kirshner here, bringing it to you. We're going to do the Class B season previews. Then I'm going to give you a top 10. Going through it, the classes as they get smaller, the Bs, the Cs, the C6-man, the C8-man, the information is harder to come by. So this is where my call for help goes out. I'm looking for coaches to reach out. I'll gladly give my phone number, give my email address. Parents, I'm looking for your help. Administration, let's help get these kids recognized and use this platform to help the game of football and these kids' futures go to another level. All right, everybody, let's start out east. Start at the top. Let's go with the Red Lodge Rams, coached by John Fitzgerald. They went 9-2 in 2024. Their only losses to the two teams that played in the state championship. Looking at 2025, they returned quite a bit. They have Cougar Capel, University of Montana commit, the All-State player. Also, another All-State player is Mason Swanson. He'll be back. They have Maverick Raynert on the D-line, Pierce Catan, QB, Harper Kruckenberg, Tegan Stewart, sophomore kicker. Moving down the line, we have the Joliet Jayhawks. They went 5-3 last year under head coach George Warburton. As far as they lost to Red Lodge, Huntley Project, and Jefferson. Jefferson in the first round of the playoffs. Returning wise, they have Camden McQuillan. He was an all-state tight end linebacker, 31 receptions, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Cook, first team all-conference. He almost ran for 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 3 catches for touchdowns. Kyler Lind, and then Mason McQuillan. Moving on to the Baker Spartans. 2024, they went 4-5. They have a new head coach, Eric Scott, that will look to take over with players Trevin LeCoux, Jarek Moser, Blake Barsness, and Chris Brawley. Rough year last year. Spartans look to kind of bounce back from that. Huntley Project is up next. They have second-year head coach Kevin Avison. They went 5-5 in his first year. They have Cooper Beard, first or all-conference player coming back for him. Looks like he ran the ball 40 times last year, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. That reminds me, guys, like I said in the preview, I'm pulling my numbers typically from either the coaches or from Max Prep. So that's where I'm getting these numbers. But as far as Huntley goes, they ended up making the playoffs last year and falling off to the Three Forks Wolves first round. Next up out east is the Colstrip Colts. I don't know who their head coach is, so if you guys know, please let me know. They have Kai Heck returning and Ethan Goodluck. He had 69 tackles for the junior last year. And last but not least, we have the Shepherd Mustangs. In Josh Caceres' first season as head coach, they went 2-7. Looking to build. I know their first game is, I believe, at MSU. Don't know off the top of my head who they are playing. But some of the players for that will be quarterback, sophomore quarterback, so he started as a freshman, Caleb Nicholson. Threw for 738 yards and 8 touchdowns and ran a touchdown. So pretty impressive for a freshman. But he'll be back to kind of lead the Mustangs. They also have junior Carson Gamrot, second-team all-conference linebacker. So they have a little bit of talent there to build on, and they are young. And last up in the East is the Roundup Panthers. 2024 was not the kindest. They went 0-9, but insert new head coach David Williams. First year, starting the program fresh. I don't have a whole lot on their team, so if somebody wants to get Coach Williams in touch with me, I would love to interview him and get some information on the Roundup Panthers. Next up is Northern B. Let's start with the Glasgow Scotties. So 2024, they went 7-3 under head coach Pat Barnett. Regular season wise, they lost to the two teams in the state championship. Can't complain too much about that for a regular season. They did end up losing out to the Lions from Eureka in the playoffs, though. Returning for them, they have some good talent, so another team that I would expect to be potentially the Final Four, maybe even make a run for that state championship. But they have their QB, Kai Gamas. I know I murdered that name. But he is back for his senior year, the All-State QB, threw for over 1,000 yards, 59 carries, over 632 yards on the ground, and 14 TDs, both through the air and on the ground. So 28 touchdowns for Kai. Andrew Linder, first team all-conference, will be there blocking for him. Wyatt Sugg, the running back linebacker, second team all-conference, had 755 yards rushing himself, 7 touchdowns there, and then another touchdown through the air. Will Kirkland, he led the team with 5 sacks, and then we had Taven Boland, second team all-conference DB. From there, let's go to the state champs, the Malta Mustangs, 13-0. They lost quite a bit of talent, but it is Malta, so they still have quite a bit going, and I'm sure they will just reload. They do have Dawson Hammond returning. The All-State wide receiver had over 1,000 yards receiving last year with 16 touchdowns. This will be his third year with the varsity. The previous, his sophomore year, he got 8 touchdowns through the air, 31 catches. Keenan Labrie, All-State, he's a junior on the O-line. D-line, he had 5.5 sacks for the Mustangs. Landon Rattan, first team all-conference, 118 tackles for the 6'1", 205-pound senior. Trooper Styles, another one of those receivers, 400 yards, 7 touchdowns. Defensively, he got 4 picks, so don't throw to Styles Island. This is also his third year on the varsity, so plenty of experience. Stroud Sims on the O-line, the 6', 190, second team all-conference. D-line, he got 111 tackles as well. So that Mustangs defense was tough. Defense wins championships. Next up, we have the Conrad Cowboys. So in 2024, they went 5-5, losing to usual suspects, the Malta, the Florences, the Glasgows. They did have a loss to Thompson Falls, Loyola, but that Thompson Falls loss was week 1. Returning wise, they do have Trapper Kinnaman, first team all conference, 6'3", 238, had 84 tackles for the Cowboys. Carson Sullivan, receiver, second team all conference, he had 500 yards receiving. Defensively, he had 5 picks. Another one of those guys, don't throw to his side. Next up, the Cut Bank Wolves. They had a tough year in 2024. They went 1-7 under head coach Paul Schilling. They are returning running back Alex Wall, second team all-conference. Next up after that is the Fairfield Eagles. 2024, they went 3-5. Head coach Aaron Viva Barnett has some talent returning. They are young, so these guys could be good for the next couple years. They have second team all-conference Derek Pearson on the O-line, another O-lineman. Ryan Arps was all-conference. Wyatt Phillips, junior, all-conference. Quarterbacks returning, he's a junior, 6'3", 180. He threw for 1,300 yards last year with 19 touchdowns. Had 2 touchdowns on the ground. We have Sloan Giles, who's returning, another junior. So Fairfield looks to build and be good for the next couple years. Last but not least, the Wolf Point Wolves. So they went 2-5 in 2024. Head coach Corey Mitchell. Returning wise, they have Zandon Calder. He's a junior, all-conference O-lineman. So as a sophomore getting O-line, it's pretty impressive. Casey Reed, he is a senior QB returning. He had 142 carries last year for 5 touchdowns on the ground. And then Jesse Reed also had 95 carries, 498 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So the Reed guys there for the Wolves led them on the ground. One's a junior, the Jesse Reed. So Wolves looking to build on that 2-5 and be better in 2025. Next up, we have the Shelby Coyotes. They went 3-5 last year, but that was an 8-man football, so they make the jump to 11-man. They have head coach Rob Mahaney in his 7th year. I don't have a ton of information or any information about returning players, so if anybody out there knows Coach Mahaney, I would love to get in touch with him and figure out who we have on the Shelby Coyotes. All right, from there, let's head south. Let's go to the Manhattan Tigers. Went 12-1 last year, ran all the way undefeated, all the way to the state title game with under head coach Wes Crate in his 4th year. I don't have a ton of returners that I know of on their team, but it is Manhattan, so they're one of those teams that likes to reload instead of rebuild. One player I do have is Brady Toner, senior All-State O-line, D-line player. After that, I have the Three Forks Wolves. 2024, they went 7-4. Head coach Connor Sullivan's 7th season this year. He's bringing back one of the best. Junior QB, Cannon Reichman. I know I murdered that. Sorry, Cannon. The 6'4", 211 QB threw for 1,800 yards, over 1,800 yards last year. 14 touchdowns, ran for over 1,000 yards. I don't know. There's too many QBs in all of high school football that pulled that off last year. 19 touchdowns on the ground. His center returns for him, Randy Pfeiffer. Wyatt Oliver is also back. Had 98 tackles on the season. Heading down I-90 to Columbus. They went 4-4 last year under first-year head coach Tom Kurtz. This will be a 2nd year. He's bringing back Kyle Gravelli, first-team All-Conference DB wide receiver. Chancey Sedgeberg, O-line, D-line. Kane Hansen, a junior, second-team All-Conference returner. Going back over to Townsend, the Bulldogs went 4-5 last year under head coach Joe Horn. They returned Logan Johnson, a junior kicker, was first-team All-Conference. Taven Anderson, he's the QB junior as well. He was second-team All-Conference. He had 5 touchdown passes, almost 600 yards passing, 2 TDs on the ground rushing, and then he had 4 INTs on defense. Merrick Easter is a senior running back, 6'1", 190, ran for 461 yards last year and 7 touchdowns. Just over the hill there, Jefferson Panthers went 8-3 last year under head coach Clint Lang. I listened to one of his interviews. I know they lost an all-state running back, and it looks like they will be throwing the ball a little bit more this year. They have a good QB to do it, too. So 3rd-year starter, Tyzer Zodi, he's going to be a junior. Second-team All-Conference, 6'1", 170, threw for over 1,500 yards last year. 13 touchdowns, carried the ball for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then next up, we have the Sweetgrass Big Timber Sheep Herders. They went 2-6 last year under head coach Rocco Carioci. I know I murdered that. Sorry, Coach. Don't have a ton of information on the Sheep Herders, so if somebody can get me in touch with Coach C, I would appreciate it, and love to have him on and learn a little bit more about what's going on over there in Big Timber. Last up, we have the Whitehall Trojans. They went 0-9 in 2024. I don't know who the head coach is this year, so if somebody there in Whitehall wants to hook me up, and so we can learn a little bit about the Trojans for 2025. Off to the west side, which is the best side, or it used to be. So Florence Falcons used to own Class B. Fell off a little bit last year, first non-state title in a couple years, and there's a couple teams in that conference that I think have some say and want to take that from Malta. So we'll start off with the Florence Falcons. So they went 10-2 in 2024. Head coach Adam Goodnight in his second year has got some talent to work with. He's returning Brody Duchesne, an all-state wide receiver DB, 47 receptions for almost 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. Bridger Alexander, all-state. This dude is an animal. He's 6'2", 215. He had 19 sacks. Yeah, I did not misspeak there. He had 19 sacks last year. So he is a quarterback's worst nightmare. This is his third year on the varsity. Also, we have Jake Schneider. He's a junior, first-team all-conference, another linebacker there. So if they somehow get past Bridger, Jake's there. He had 128 tackles last year. Next up is the Missoula Loyola Rams. Head coach Todd Hughes has been there for 17 years. They went 6-5 in 2024. They have a couple returners here. So they have Joe Grunau, senior all-state linebacker, Owen Felton, first-team all-conference, O-line, D-line. He had 80 tackles. Andrew Richardson, he's a junior. QB. He threw for 772 yards and 11 touchdowns and ran in 3. Jacob Horner, running back, looks like he ran for 355 yards last year, 13 catches and a touchdown there. Next up is one of them sneaky teams that I think can contend for a state title. So it's the Eureka Lions. They went 6-3 last year under head coach Robbie Shara. Rogan Little, he's one of the reasons why I think these guys can be a state contender. He threw for 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. Another one of those guys that ran for 1,000 yards. So very few of those. He had 14 touchdowns on the ground. Kyler Kosman, O-line, D-line, first-team all-conference. He returns for his senior year. Emmett McKim, first-team all-conference linebacker. Josh Lambertson, third-year wide receiver. He was second-team all-conference. He had 389 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns. He had 28 catches, 333 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Emmett McKim, he is back, tight end, middle linebacker, second-team all-conference last year at 26 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and had 93 tackles. Next up is the Anaconda Copperheads. They went 1-7 in 2024. Head coach Dan Lacey has Brody Gell, second-team all-conference, coming back. Junior Soren Keeland, linebacker. He had 67 tackles last year. They're also bringing back quarterback Travis Dye. So he threw for 652 yards last year, 5 touchdowns, and ran for 362 on the ground while getting second-team all-conference. Deer Lodge went 4-4 last year. That was in 8-man, so they've moved up. Head coach Matt Bignell is in his 3rd season there. Don't have a ton of information on the returners, so if somebody wants to get me in touch with Coach Mack, I will gladly talk about the Wardens. Also out there in the West is Thompson Falls. The Blue Hawks went 3-7 in 2024. Their head coach Jared Koskela. If somebody has his information, I'd love to talk about the Blue Hawks. I don't have much to say on them other than that, though. All right, guys, let's close this out with my preseason top 10 for Class B. Coming in at number 10, we have the Townsend Bulldogs. Number 9, we're going to go with the Missoula Loyola Rams. Number 8, Eureka Lions. Number 7, Florence Carlton. Number 6, the Jefferson Panthers. Number 5, Three Forks Wolves. Coming in at number 4, we have the Glasgow Scotties. Number 3, the Manhattan Tigers. Coming in at number 2, the Red Lodge Rams. Coming in at number 1, who else but the Malta Mustangs. So that wraps it up for Class B. Like I said, I'm looking to interview some of the coaches, find out some more about these teams. I'm looking for help from the parents. Come Friday night, I need some score updates. I'd love to talk to some of these players, just kind of get some insight from their point of view. And you parents, please help with this. Thank you for all you do to make this happen, and let's make 2025 the best year yet.